Greetings, this is Patricia and I am traveling for history. This is a photograph of Jackson Charles Pharris. He was born June 26, 1912 and was an officer in the United States Navy who received the Congressional Medal of Honor for heroism during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Pharris grew up in Columbus, Georgia, the oldest of 5 children. He joined the U.S. Navy on April 25, 1933. In September 1933, he reported aboard the USS California as a gunner. He was assigned to the USS Mississippi until December 1940 and then was reassigned to the USS California in January 1941. The ship reached Pearl Harbor on November 8. For his actions on board the USS California during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, he was awarded the Navy Cross, which was later upgraded to the Medal of Honor. Due to the injuries he received, Pharris was hospitalized at the U.S. Naval Hospital at Pearl Harbor until March 1942. After being released from the hospital, he returned to the USS California. On July 17, 1942, Pharris earned his commission. In January 1943, he was admitted again to the U.S. Naval Hospital after collapsing because of a lack of oxygen due to oil still in his lungs. He returned to duty in June. I'm now going to read to you the Medal of Honor citation. Quote, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while attached to the USS California during the surprise enemy Japanese aerial attack on Pearl Harbor, Territory of Hawaii, December 7, 1941. In charge of the ordnance repair party on the third deck when the first Japanese torpedo struck almost directly under his station, Lieutenant, then gunner, Pharris, was stunned and severely injured by the concussion which hurled him to the overhead and back to the deck. Quickly recovering, he acted on his own initiative to set up a hand supply ammunition train for the anti-aircraft guns. With water and oil rushing in where the port bulkhead had been torn up from the deck, with many of the remaining crew members overcome by oil fumes and the ship without power and listing heavily to port as a result of a second torpedo hit, Lieutenant Pharris ordered the ship-fitters to counterflood. Twice rendered unconscious by the nauseous fumes and handicapped by his painful injuries, he persisted in his desperate efforts to speed up the supply of ammunition and at the same time repeatedly risked his life to enter flooding compartments and drag to safety unconscious shipmates who were gradually being submerged in oil. By his inspiring leadership, his valiant efforts, and his extreme loyalty to his ship and her crew, he saved many of his shipmates from death and was largely responsible for keeping the California in action during the attack. His heroic conduct throughout this first eventful engagement of World War II reflects the highest credit upon Lieutenant Pharris and enhances the finest traditions of the U.S. Naval Service. He died at the age of 54 on October 17, 1966. 6 years later, in 1972, the destroyer escort USS Pharris was named in his honor. He is buried in Arlington National Cemetery. He reached the rank of lieutenant commander and served from 1933 to 1948. This is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye now.